Ladies and gentlemen, and even you delusional Yas Queen Britney Spears fans, get ready for some incoming new Britney Spears body cam footage coming soon to a tabloid near you. Because for like the third time that we know of, in the last few months, Britney Spears once again got pulled over by the cops. Now, I think us normal people, we know that Britney Spears has no business being behind the wheel at all. She has no concept of the general rules that you have to follow in traffic. She doesn't understand speed limits. She doesn't abide by speed limits. She drives everywhere without a license, without proof of insurance. And this time, supposedly, according to Britney Spears herself, this time, law enforcement held her for over an hour and a half. Now, if you get pulled over for a random traffic violation, the cops aren't going to keep you for an hour and a half. So this automatically lets me know that there's more to this story. Did Britney Spears have to do a field sobriety test? Did the cops notice that Britney Spears was kind of off, so maybe they had to check out a few things to make sure that Britney was mentally okay to drive back to wherever she was driving? I'm really wondering why she was held for an hour and a half, because it's not just for driving without a seatbelt. It's not just for a minor traffic violation. But then again, like I said, Britney Spears has no concept of the rules that you have to follow when driving. She doesn't take her driver's license anywhere. Every time she gets pulled over, she has to call her assistant, and her assistant has to talk to the cops and let them know that Britney is a delusional celebrity that doesn't understand the concept of car insurance and licenses and registration. So basically, when the cops pull Britney over, they have to deal with her assistant. Often, her assistant has to leave from wherever she's at, maybe Britney's house or wherever, and they have to come to the scene where Britney is to talk to the cops for Britney, because despite the fact that Britney is a 40-something-year-old woman, she still can't handle herself like a grown adult. No matter how empowered people think Britney is, I don't think Britney can make a fried egg. I don't think Britney can literally do basically anything on her own. So maybe that explains why she was held for an hour and a half. But then again, I think there may be more to this story, because you see how odd Britney acts. Imagine a police officer seeing that. Police officers are trained to spot certain things. They're trained to pay attention. So I just know that a police officer pulling over Britney probably leads to some pretty interesting conversations. And unlike the idiots that you see online who make excuses for Britney, I guarantee you a lot of these cops automatically know that she's crazy within a few minutes of talking to her. But then again, she's Britney Spears, which is why I think she keeps getting let loose. Anyone else probably would have had their driver's license suspended or something by now. We know that she's gotten pulled over multiple times in recent history. Even the last time she got pulled over on body cam, the cop mentioned that he had pulled her over multiple times before for speeding in the same area, because she thinks that she's above the law. Not only does she think that she's above the law, she doesn't grasp the concept of laws, because she's in her own la-la land where she should be able to do whatever she wants to do. And if anyone else feels some type of way about it, or if she has to suffer some consequences for her actions, she makes herself out to be a victim. And that's what she's doing right now. She admitted to once again getting pulled over, and now she's trying to play a victim. Let's go ahead and look at this social media post, because it is as delusional as most of her posts. So I guess that isn't that surprising, right? But let's go ahead and dig right in. Crazy that my body looks a little nicer and smoother when I have a spa day in my own home with glam hair and makeup. Let me pause right there. Everyone thinks I'm mean when I kind of poke fun at Britney's appearance. But even though I know I could say things that sound harsh and I'm joking around, I don't mean it to be a big bully. I mean it to be kind of harsh with my criticism because people sometimes need tough love, right? But one thing I've always worried about is I'm worried that the people around Britney are really taking advantage of her. Down to her hairstylist and makeup artist and all of that. Because often Britney will mention things like, I just got my hair done. But then you look at her and you can tell she didn't get her hair done at all. Listen, I know a lot of you all watching this video, you hate my guts. You don't agree with anything that I say about Britney. You're on the total opposite side when it comes to this situation. Cool. One thing we can all agree on, though, right, is that this woman hasn't had her hair done in years. It doesn't even look like she's washed her hair in months. Yet she'll post these things like, oh, I just got glammed up at home, just got my hair done. And it's obvious that she didn't. So it leaves me to wonder, okay, is she just this crazy and delusional that she's making up fake scenarios in her mind where she thought she got her hair done? Or is she paying someone thousands of dollars to do her hair? But because she's a little loopy, they come in there and just play around a little bit, drain her of her money, and basically don't do her hair at all? I'm really wondering, is Britney this delusional to think that I got my hair done even though she didn't? Or is she paying someone to do her hair, but these people know that she's so crazy that they can come in, pretend to do her hair, not do the slightest bit of work, and then push her out there on Instagram looking like a complete idiot? As she spins around like a little girl, oh, I'm happy I just got my hair done, even though her hair isn't done. It's far from done. It's about as far from done as you can be. It's not even washed, let alone done. So that's always been a concern of mine. I'm concerned about the fact that we have this rich, powerful woman that has been reduced to spinning around in circles in her living room all day and cheap clothes from Shein and stuff like that. And there's no problem with getting your clothes from there. But Britney often posts fake dresses and stuff, acting like, oh, this is a designer dress that costs thousands of dollars. But it's literally something you can order off of Amazon or Temu for $6. So I'm really wondering how, is this Britney just lying? Is this Britney being delusional? Or are her little assistants and the little helpers around her taking advantage of her like this? She even says, she went so far as to say that she had her makeup done. When? The makeup that's on Britney's face right now is almost as old as me. Literally. No one's doing this woman's makeup, but she always talks and acts like people are doing her makeup. What look is she going for? She always looks like she just came off of a nervous breakdown. Is that the look that her makeup artists are giving her? Is there a way to apply mascara and eyeshadow that makes it look like it's been on your face for 19 days in a row? I don't get it. Is she really paying someone to do her makeup? And they're giving her the bimbo crackhead outside of the bar at 3 a.m. smoking used cigarette butts while foraging through the trash can for half-eating club sandwiches? Is that the look that her makeup artist is going for? So people can get mad at me for my opinions. People can be mad at me for being honest. But someone needs to ask these questions. Because your idol, the woman that these Yas queens worship, she's constantly acting like she's getting dolled up and glammed up, but I haven't seen it. And y'all know y'all haven't seen it either. So what's really going on here? Is this woman so crazy that she's creating fake scenarios in her mind where she thinks she's getting her makeup and hair done? Or is she paying people to do her hair and makeup, and they come in there and just play around with her like she's a 4-year-old, and then they let her go spin around on Instagram for a couple of hours? Because that's what it looks like is happening to me. So if anyone wants to pretend like they're worried about Britney, why aren't people worried about things like that? But let's go forward. And unlike yesterday, in my car, I was pulled over by a cop that had me in the car for an hour and a half before I left. All after I danced my body for an hour with my new workout on this cool app program, I realized my breathing wasn't right. It's crazy because although bullying is at a high point in the world, today for some reason he came over and apologized after threatening me for doing absolutely nothing wrong at all. So once again, Britney Spears is getting pulled over for like the third or fourth time that we know about in the last couple of months, but she did absolutely nothing wrong at all. Every day there's a new story coming from Britney where she's a victim that does nothing wrong at all. Who's the common denominator in all of these situations? At some point, in order to believe Britney Spears, you would have to believe that every single human being on earth is a horrible human being that sole purpose of existence is to shit on Britney. Because the narrative that Britney crafts is that the whole entire world, women, children, men, strangers, you name it, even animals, fast food workers, her own sister, other celebrities, everyone is a big bad meanie, and their only reason for existing is to destroy Britney and to be mean and a bully to Britney. At some point you have to realize, wait, Britney is the common denominator in all of these situations. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's not me, maybe it's not him, maybe it's not her. I'll even throw y'all a bone. Maybe it's not them, they, or Zimzer. Maybe it's just Britney Spears, right? So once again, she gets pulled over for doing Lord knows what, held for an hour and a half, probably because the cop wanted to make sure that this woman wasn't escaping from an insane asylum before he let her go. And now she's the victim. I'm sure I gave so many people a thrill to see Miss Britney look a mess and scared. I apologize for not posting the way I usually post this week. It's downright hateful here. Off to Mexico. I send my love. So as if the whole entire post wasn't delusional enough, she ends by apologizing for not posting as much as she usually does this week. The only problem is she's been posting more this week than usual, which is why you've seen an uptick in me making these videos about her, because over the past week or so, there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. She's been doing a lot of weird and wild stuff, and certain details are getting exposed. She's revealing things like she got detained for an hour and a half by the cops, you know what I mean? So, as if the post wasn't delusional enough, she ends it by, I apologize for not posting as much this week, even though she posted like 3 times more than normal. So nothing about this ever makes sense. And I've learned long ago that there's no point in trying to make sense of most of the things that she says, because she's talking out of the side of her neck. This is a manic woman that has these hyperactive episodes where she just starts spurting things out of her mind, and none of it really adds up. None of it really makes sense. None of it is really coherent. She usually jumps from different topics like very quickly, from sentence to sentence to where you don't even know what she's talking about anymore. But at the end of the day, classic Britney, once again playing the victim after doing something stupid or crazy. And now she's going to blame the world. Her fans are once again going to feel bad for her. And no one's going to stop and question, wait, what do you mean you had a glam day and got your hair and makeup done? So why do you look like a bag lady in your video? Why isn't your hair and makeup done, like you said? No one's going to question that. But in my opinion, there's only like two scenarios here that we're dealing with. Either she's just a blatant, lying, delusional, crazy woman that makes up fake things that ain't even happening, or there's people there sucking her dry of her money while pretending to apply makeup, pretending to do her hair, when in reality they probably run their hands through her greasy hair real quick, smack a mascara right on the corner of her eye, and then they push her out there. They probably grab her by the shoulders and spit her right out in front of Instagram. And then they laugh about it when they get home to their husband. They laugh about how they made thousands of dollars off of Britney today, pretending to do her makeup because she has the mind of a 6-year-old. But with all that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can do so via CashApp, or you can help the channel for free by liking, subscribing, all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.